Just in, Johnny Somali killed in South Korea. Man, what has been going on since the last time I talked about this guy? Like, holy. Now, for anybody who is wondering and about to go to Google to go and check if this information was, factually correct, there's no need for any of that because it's the same Twitter accounts over on Twitter. Yes, there's so much misinformation going around, and that's exactly what happened. Like, these people gotta stop tweeting false information. But if you know anything about Twitter, even with their community notes, you just know that that's never going to happen. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. So it looks like Johnny Somali is in a huge amount of trouble right now. More trouble than the trouble that we already went over in previous videos. Because for the people who are not updated on the situation, Johnny Somali went to South Korea. And if you know anything about Johnny Somali, you know why he's going there. And it's not for any good reasons.
I stand with the Korean people. Bring it closer to you. Come closer. I stand with the Korean people. I love Korea. And everything that I did in Japan was for the Korean and the Chinese people.
I couldn't even get an end. I tried to call.
These are the previous instances that we already went over in my previous videos on him, and these instances, along with some others, are the exact reasons why Johnny will be going to trial in South Korea on December 20th, 2024. Yes, guys, 5 days before Christmas on a Friday, that's when this long and grueling trial is set to start. And honestly, if you ask me, it is looking really, really bad for Johnny Somali. And I'm all for it, honestly, because this guy should be sitting locked up in Japan right now. He shouldn't have been able to leave and go to Israel. He shouldn't have been able to go to South Korea either. Like, that's just another question that I have. How come this guy was still allowed to have a passport after what had happened in Japan? Like, it makes no sense to me at all. But anyways, for those curious on what Johnny Somali is facing charges for, well, get ready for this, because it looks like Johnny Somali will be facing charges of obstruction of business, and we already knew he was going to get a charge for what he did in the 7-Eleven, and it looks like the penalty for this is up to 5 years of imprisonment and up to 15 million Korean won, approximately $11,000 USD. So this is probably going to be one of the smaller charges that we see out of all of them, because I mean, this really isn't like the biggest thing ever. As far as I'm aware, this is something that if it happened in the US, it would most likely be a misdemeanor and nothing really that crazy. And they're saying up to 5 years, meaning they cannot go any higher than 5 years, meaning the maximum he gets here is 5 years, but who knows what he will end up getting. He could get a year, 2 years, or who knows. But I would like to say I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him the full 5 years for this because of the way that he's treated South Korea and all the people there and the people he disrespected. But anyways, besides that, we do have a lot to get to here in terms of these charges, so let's move on to the next one. So for anybody who does not currently live in South Korea or know too much about the country, you would know that over the past few years, South Korea has started to crack down on deepfake images, and according to the Associated Press, acts of watching or possessing deepfake is punishable with up to 3 years in prison. And the reason why I brought this up is because currently Johnny Somali does have at least 3 counts of deepfake images against him with potentially more, and the penalty per count is up to 5 years in prison and a fine up to 50 million KRW Korean won, which is approximately $40,000 USD. If obscene, longer prison sentence and charges in digital harassment may be added.
See him with a deep fake of the Comfort Woman statue as a prostitute, as a street prostitute, right? And he was trying to say that they were actually paid well, so they should be thankful to the Imperial Japanese. And then he goes at the end and he takes up the Imperial flag, and he actually, this is better. I don't want to hear him speak because he's such an idiot. He actually kisses the flag of Japan. The Imperial battle flag of Japan, right? But yes, he was asserting that they should be thankful for that and thank the Japanese. Chinese. I'm not kidding. He actually said that.
So on top of Johnny Somali making these deep fake images and showcasing that he has them, which is against South Korean law, he also in the process of doing that disrespected South Korea. Like, man, you just can't make this shit up, can ya? I really hope that they put this guy away for a long time, and I can't wait for this guy to receive karma for his actions. Now, as for the next charge, we have drug use. It is one of these charges, and the penalty per count is up to 5 years of imprisonment and fine in millions for simple use, not distribution or repeated offenses. Next, we have at least one charge of assault, and then the penalty per count, we have simple assault up to 2 years of imprisonment and up to $4,000 USD. Aggravated assault, on the other hand, is up to 10 years in prison and requires injury or weapon. Now, you guys are probably wondering, well, why does Johnny Somali have assault charges? Well, I'm gonna say it once again. In other countries, they may or may not have slightly different laws there. And you guys are probably wondering, well, what are you getting at, Breone? Well, apparently in South Korea, there is no such thing as self-defense. So that means if somebody comes at you, which, I mean, he's been jumped quite a few times while he's been in Korea, and if while being assaulted by somebody, he throws a punch back or uses something to, you know, defend himself, he's going to be getting assault charges. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Absolutely wild shit. Because over here in the United States, as most of us should be aware, we do have self-defense laws and stuff like that here. So if somebody comes after you and assaults you, you can defend yourself and hit back and do whatever you need to do to get this attacker off of you. So yeah, he's probably going to have more than one count of assault. And yeah, this is why I think it's safe to say that you better be on your best behavior when you visit foreign countries, and you better know the laws. Because honestly, when I first heard about that self-defense shit, I was like, what? There's just no way. But apparently that's how it is. He is facing at least one count of blackmail, and the penalty is up to 10 years imprisonment. We have insults. Yes, guys, you heard it right. Insults. And for each count of insults, it's up to 1 year imprisonment. Like, man, if you're an American like me and live in the United States, you better not take any of the rights that you have here for granted. Because honestly, I find it baffling that insults are against South Korean law. Like, that's just some crazy shit, not even gonna lie. We have threats to children, at least one count. And if he's convicted, that's up to 3 years imprisonment. Next up, we have public indecency, and we have at least one count, if not more, and that's up to 1 year imprisonment. We also have supporting the DPRK, which is an NSA crime, and he could get up to 7 years for that. As for other potential charges, we have illegally accessing obscene material, which is 1 year in prison, violation of the railroad safety laws, which is 2 years in prison, incitement to violence up to 3 years in prison, and anti-terrorism laws up to 7 years in prison. So yeah, honestly, I think it's safe to say that I think Johnny Somali is finally done. I think he's officially over, guys. And I really don't see him coming back from this unless he finds a way somehow to leave the country. And I highly doubt that is going to be happening. Now, as for additional information, the trial will begin with the indictment and opening statements, and Somali will have the opportunity to plead guilty. Even if he pleads guilty, a sentence phase will follow, and new evidence could still emerge during the proceedings. In a related incident, YouTuber Dalgan Yu, who served in the South Korean Special Forces, was arrested after assaulting Somali. The attack was reportedly prompted by Somali's viral act of kissing the Statue of Peace, a monument to victims of slavery during World War II. Yu justified his actions, claiming he was acting as a responsible Korean citizen. And his trial date once again is on December 20th, 2024, just days before Christmas. So yeah, I really don't have too much to say here except for get fucked, Johnny Somali. You did it to yourself, buddy. Highly doubt he'll be watching this video due to him most likely being in custody. I don't know if he is or not. I would like to assume so. But in previous videos where I did talk about Johnny, he has commented on my videos threatening to copyright strike me and dumb bullshit like that. So yeah, Johnny, if you happen to see this video, once again, I just wanted to say you did this to yourself. You can't blame anybody else for your own actions but yourself, and I highly doubt you're going to make it out of this one. So yeah, have a good old time in the penitentiary, and yeah, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.